now that we know what your target is and really what you're aiming for, now we're going to look at who are you targeting, okay? Because again, I've met some business owners that they say, David, I target anyone with a heartbeat. If they come in, I'm selling to them. Okay, we're going to dial this in because that is a more novice approach. Okay, it's a novice approach. We need to understand who our target is, and your target is your A+. Client, customer, patient, tenant, doesn't matter, right? Your A+ only, okay? Right now, if you would indulge me, close your eyes and think of the person that you've met with that is such a pleasure to work with, right? Someone you're like, if I could only work with this person again for the rest of my life, I would be so dang happy, right? So, oh my gosh. This person pays their bills on time. This person always picks up the phone. They're so cheery. They always take my advice. They do, you have that person in your mind right now. If you didn't close your eyes, I know a person popped in your head, whether it's for this business or previous one. You have somebody in your mind that it's just like, this is amazing, right? Now, you can have multiple A+ client avatars, right? But this A+ client avatar is someone that will pay their bills on time, doesn't question what you do, blah, 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 based on your business, okay? It's different. You guys have an A+ tenant, A+ patient, A+ client, A+ customer. It doesn't matter. This is the person. Now, this person, you need to understand this person, okay? It's not enough to say, I've got an A+ client, okay? To really drive in your marketing machine, you need to know everything about this person. Everything. I mean, if you don't, and you're like, this person is my A+ and is a current customer of mine, then guess what you get to do? Take them out to lunch and learn about them, right? You need to understand everything about them, okay? This is in your workbook, guys. Who are they? How old are they? Where do they live? How much money do they make? I mean, you can see the list here. What are their goals and dreams? Who are their advisors? How do they make decisions? Who do they trust? Where do they spend their time? Are they married? Are they single? Do they have kids, etc.? What kind of problems do they have? What are their worries and fears? What keeps them up at night? Okay, you need to dial this in. Okay, so get out your workbook, and you can make. I put in your workbook I think 3 different spots for A+ client avatars. Okay, if you've got, you can do as many of these as you want, right? But ideally today we're focusing on one. Okay, because everything we do, you got your target of what you're going after. Now you need to know who you're targeting. Who are you going after, okay? As specific as possible. This guy's got 2 dogs, and he's 52 years old, and he's got a house and a rental property. He's got a business located here. He's got 3 kids. He's got this. His average net asset value is this. He's got making $500,000 a year in total income. Whatever, it doesn't matter what it is, but you need to identify. Now, I will tell you the most important part of this, okay? Yes is their income. Yes is their personal situation. Like in your workbook, it breaks it down by basically almost your generic kind of basic stats, okay? Then it has their decision making and kind of how they do that, right? And then the most important thing that you need to know about your prospect, your A+, best person that you want to work with forever, okay, is the very last part. What are their problems? What are they worried about? Okay? What are their concerns? What are their goals? What are their objectives? What keeps them up at night? Okay? It's different for every different kind of Now, once you define your A+ client avatar, you can now put people into these buckets, right? For an example, I'm going to reference my other firm, my estate planning practice. Okay? Estate planning practice. They have multiple A+ client avatars. They have the young family with young kids, right? They're a family that's got a 2-year-old and a 5-year-old, right, with a single home, much different worries, concerns than someone who's retiring, right, and their kids are in their 40s. You see what I'm saying? Like if I talk to someone who's got 2 young little babies, and then just like, God forbid, if I died, what would happen to my babies? You see what I'm saying? Like, who's going to take care of my kids? Versus I want to leave a legacy for my family. You see what I'm saying? Totally different. If I talk to them the same way, it just wouldn't resonate with them. It doesn't make sense. You see what I'm saying? Like a business owner that's wanting to scale and grow his business because he wants to achieve an amount of just legacy through his businesses and wants to do it safely and scale and grow and bring in new staff and go into different geographical areas and just wants to create something that he will be proud of, right, is a much different business owner that's saying, you know what, I have a passion to serve this community, this specific kind of person. This is my passion. I want to do it to serve and to really dedicate my life to providing this valuable thing to this section of the community that is just such a passion for mine. You see the two different, I mean, this is obviously more in line of like what I do, right? In terms of the passion, the two different people are so different. If I talk to them the same way, it wouldn't make sense, okay? So right now, go in your workbook. I've got spots for 3 different A+ client avatars. The psychology is most important. But if you don't have the beginning stuff, you really will never get to the end stuff. If you don't know it, make it up, okay? Make it up. What do you think? And if you truly don't know it, then guess what you get to do? Call up this person and take them out to lunch and ask them, right? Learn about them, okay? Because this is going to help you do everything with your marketing, okay? You need to understand who it is that you want to serve, okay? Regardless of what you do for them, it makes no difference, okay? So let's take a minute and do that, okay? Really take your time. Really take your time to do this, okay? And if you have a specific person that comes to mind when it comes to your number 1 A+ client avatar, write that person's name down. This is my David Shoup avatar, right? This is my etc., right? This is my avatar as it relates to this person. You can name that avatar and it will help you think of it and dial it in, okay? Remember, today we're going to focus on one specific avatar, but you're free to have, I would say probably you don't want to have really more than 4. 4 avatars, it starts to get kind of confusing, right? So you can have technically as many as you want. Again, the machine needs to know what it's supposed to produce, and it needs to know who it's going after. We're doing this in steps very specifically. It must be done in this way. If you skip ahead, you're like, David, just give me the sexy marketing strategies. But we don't know what we're doing. We don't know who we're talking to or any. I mean, the marketing strategies is a guess. This is what most people do. They just throw stuff at the wall and hopefully it works, but they have no idea who they're going after or what they want. You see what I'm saying? You got to do things in the right way. That's why we're doing it in this way. Another thing you're going to add to your A+ client avatar, their buying decisions. Okay? How do they make their decisions regarding your service, regarding your product, regarding your rental property, regarding your store, regarding your services? How do they make decisions? If you don't understand this and what goes through their mind and how they make decisions, your conversion rate is going to tank. It will tank, right? Because if you're going after government contracts or large corporations, you're going after large commercial jobs, and they've got to go through the president or the appropriate appropriations committee or whatever, right? And you don't understand this, and you're talking to the gatekeeper, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time. You got to understand this process. Versus if you're like, okay, I got 25 broken pipes, an HVAC that's falling through the ceiling, right? And I've got the husband here, only the husband, and he's married, right? All right, sir, it's going to be, $25,000 to completely rip this out and fix your roof and everything else. What's going to happen? You know what's going to happen. I got to talk to my wife about it. Well, great news. Now we got you both together, so that's crossed off the list, right? You got to understand their buying decision and what they go through, okay? Who do they talk to, right? Most, a lot of entrepreneurs, for example, before they make major decisions that will impact their taxes, who are they going to talk to? Their CPA, right? Or if they're building a new retirement plan or whatever. I got to talk to my financial advisor. I can't make this decision without my financial advisor advising me, etc. You see what I'm saying? So you, right, exactly, right? I got to talk to my wife. She manages the 401k, right? You got to understand this process, and for your A+ client customer avatar, you got to understand this. Guys, the most important part, like I talked about before, is this, okay? What's on the screen right now. What are their pain points? What are their objectives? What are their goals? What are they trying to avoid, and where are they going to? Okay? And then finally, once you have that, now you know what they want to accomplish. So now you know what they actually care about. You see what I'm saying? What do they actually care about? The example that I gave earlier about the young family versus the retiring couple, what they care about is so different. You cannot talk to them the same way. It makes no sense. You see what I'm saying? And it's the same thing in what I do. I'm like, no, we need to develop an advanced tax planning strategy. You're like, but David, I'm building up real estate portfolio. Maybe that's something we do in the future. You see what I'm saying? Like, it matters what it is that the person really actually cares about. So you need to understand that. Okay? Okay, and remember, your only focus in this machine that we are building is your A+. Okay? Maybe you help a B, right? He's like, okay, he doesn't answer the phone quite as good. Maybe he is kind of absent here and there. Maybe doesn't, whatever, but a B. Okay? That's it. But your machine targets the A+ only. A+ only. Okay? You really should not be helping people that are C or lower, okay? Because these are the people that'll question your invoices, give you a hard time, hey, I'm going to price shop somewhere else, or I don't show up on time. I totally just blow you off. I didn't even show up in the first place, right? Or whatever. That's the people that you don't want to work on. So that's why your machine is built for the A+ only, okay? Your avatar, the people that you want to work with only, boom, that's them, right? And you can specifically identify them in your marketing. We haven't gotten there yet. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but when you know everything about them, your marketing and advertising becomes just kind of effortless because now you can speak their language. And the person that's like, oh my gosh, that's me. That's what I care about. You're like, I know you do. You see what I'm saying? I know you care about that. But you're speaking to them directly, and they connect with you. Because now you're talking my language, right? Now, obviously apply that to the kind of business that you're in, okay? All right. Yes, ma'am.
What if you're not targeting an individual, but entities?
Entities have the same you can treat entities like living people. I am working with small business owners, or I'm working with entities or corporations in this kind of space. You see what I'm saying?
Universities.
Yeah, universities. Now, when you're doing larger commercial or government contracting, it's going to be a little bit different, but I would tell you what, when you work with the contracting officer, like if you're going after government contract space or public entities and that kind of thing, when you're speaking to that officer, that contracting officer, or the individual that's in charge of this, you can still use these kinds of strategies because it's still marketing. You're just kind of marketing it in a different way. You see what I'm saying? So the process that you're going to go through in terms of giving them basically your proposal and your services based on what they actually care about and communicating the way according to their values of their business, etc. It will be different, but the concepts will still apply. You see what I'm saying?